tell you
that white hitman's different. White hitman will take notes, follow you for weeks, months. Then done you, pow. No witnesses, no CCTV. Black hitman, he'll go to the biggest fucking dance of the century, innit? Wait in line with the gun, wagwan. All right, my gun need the fish.
Don't forget, keeping it real with Rudi Lickwood.
Boy, there's no other way to keep it but that way, innit? Keep it real, blood. No other way to keep it real. Thank you very much for joining me. Juicy Julie in the house. All right, let me just do this. When I see my Juicy Julie, I know it's that my back is covered. That's all I know. Mummy T in the house. How you doing? How you doing, Mummy T? Good evening, Rudy and crew. Universal blessings to everybody. I love that. Universal blessings. Yes, Kaz is in. Right, the Rants and Brants crew all over this, man. Let me just give somebody. Yeah. The rants are here, man. Leisha, you're finally. What's she saying to me? What I said to me, Leisha? You're finally here. I've been waiting. Sis, listen, man. I had to track this brother down. I had to track him down. It's not easy. Greetings, Paul. How you doing, man? You come as Paul tonight. You're not Stingo. Everybody loves Stingo, you know. I hope you know that. Everybody, fuck Paul. No one's interested in Paul. It's Stingo we want. They are. So, people, how has it been today? Because I know I say, today's the 12th, yeah, and everybody rush out on street. I see the pubs, them are full. You get me? I see people sitting down eating and ting. I went and got my eyes tested. Yeah, man, I went and got my eyes tested. You know when they try to rip you off when you get your eyes tested, tell you say your eyes them don't work, yeah? When you put your face in that machine and then they blow some air in it and go, can you see? And you're like, no, I can't see because you just blown some bloody air into my eyes. That's why I can't see, you know what I mean? And then they set you up. They want to set you up, man. They want to set you up, you know what I mean? Because like once they've got your readings and everything, you know what's coming next, isn't it? The big sell. The big sell. I see one woman sitting down there. All I heard was like £700. I went, thief. I felt like to take out my eyes. You understand what I'm saying? But mind you, though, I got the price down, man. I thought, no. Yes, Alfia, you see what I'm saying? Incognito. I'm telling you, everybody loves Stingo, you know. I mean, I lie. Everybody loves Stingo. Everything, Chris. Continue. Birthday celebrations. Mr. Lasma. Yeah. Listen, man, didn't you just not only the other day come from Jamaica about you still celebrating? You are rest your backside at home. That's what you want to do. I talked to Kaz when I said that. Bless up to my sister, Donna. How you doing, Donna, man? Nice to see you, darling. Don't forget, you know, once we lick an hour, you know, we are going over to YouTube. So, Rants and Bants, if you lot ain't got that down, something wrong. Yeah, something wrong. Coming on, nobody miss none of this. None of this, because this is going to be... Well, we're talking to a legend. Do you know what I mean? We're talking to a legend, so we might as well keep it real, and we might as well just keep it moving. Let me introduce the one and only Danny. Wide, wide open.
Brother, I tell you nearly bring tear to my eyes, man. I see a picture of my mum's. Yeah. I like that still ruse.
I thought so. I thought you might like that.
Yeah, it's good thing I got glasses on.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I just found that slim. After I was reading and stuff, I started getting headaches. You understand? And at first I didn't know what the headaches were. You know. I swear to God, I didn't know what the headaches were. But all I noticed is I wasn't enjoying reading anymore.
Yeah.
It was nearly about 18 months, yeah, I was putting off reading, right?
Anything.
Yeah, because at first it was like newspaper, you get me? Because you know how we have to delve in the news, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so instead of doing that, I just started to just listen to Piers Morgan. He give me reason to get up and scream and shout at the TV in the morning. You get what I'm saying?
Boy, he upset my spirit every morning, boy. I don't know why we done it to ourselves. I think we was watching and waiting to see them sack his backside. You understand? I think that's what Black actually was watching. I think we was intrigued at the fact that he was in the position he was in. But to me, it almost seemed stalkerish, stroke bullying.
It was bullying, though. It was total bullying.
Of course it was. And it was just bullying. Being allowed. I thought, wow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was like he was holding up was holding up the what the UK kind of like represents in a sense. Yeah. And he was a representative of that. Yeah. And he was so smart and sly with it because he would slide with different cultures. Yeah. And you kind of think, oh, he's not so bad because he's being quite objective. Yeah. But when you got down to the root of him, you get me? It was all about God Save the Queen, Churchill, and it's like, well, yeah, but what about what the other things that Churchill stood for? Right. You pleased, you know what I mean? You pleased to be in the country, and you think,
well, do you know what it is, Rudes? Black people, we get mad at that, but I'm going to tell you the honest truth.
Go on.
For them to admit to what we say about their past heroes, that will just tarnish the whole of their history. And the truth is, nobody don't want their history tarnished. Even though it's the truth, then what they got left? If you take away everything they thought was great, said, no, actually, that's not this, that's not that, that's not this, that's not that. Do you understand? So man say enough. You understand? We know what we done, and we don't want to hear what we done. Yeah. So I don't know what Black people expect for white people to do, but they don't want to lose their greatness, the greatness or the perception of greatness.
It is perception,
that
it's all perception. It's all, everything is perception.
But I do think it's education as well, because I don't feel. I mean, on the street level, people will know what racism is.
Okay.
But on the systematic, the things with the colonizing, I don't think people here realize the badness that was, because it wasn't told to them. They got told.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. But the thing is, they're not naive, though. They're not naive, and they're not stupid. I hear you.
But it's for us to say the atrocities and the basically fuckeries that went on. If we don't speak it, then they won't know. We got to educate in a certain way.
They won't. No, not that they won't know. They'll let it slide. They want it to just slide. They know, man.
There's certain things, big man. There's certain things you can't slide. I'm going to give you an instance. We know about the Holocaust as Black people, but I can't tell you the in-depth things. Yes, I know they gas people. I know they done certain things. But unless you talk to an actual Jewish person, for them to give you the reality on the nitty-gritty.
Yeah,
the average white person don't know that back in the day they used to use slave babies as crocodile bait.
I hear you.
But the average person wouldn't know that. We know that because it's us that was happening to.
Yeah, but then what about the man them? What about the man them? Right? You see how you just now mentioned the crocodiles. Yeah. What about the man them who got the pictures in their houses? Talking about the white man them, you know. What about the collectors? Listen, you know, there's people who collect that kind of memorabilia, don't you?
Watch me. I'm not talking about a man that's mind is set like that. Yeah.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Over time,
average Joe blog.
The average Joe blog. Yeah, they're not told the most governments don't really inform their citizens on the efforts they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure more than half of the American citizens don't know what the secret services and that do abroad. And do you see what I mean? Some things come out, some don't. But if you was to get the full detail, then you get a lot of people that turn away from their own people. You get people that become disgusted because of what they've learned.
But I think that's what's happened with the younger generation and why they actually went out on the marches with our youth. Our youth.
What I'm saying. So don't think I'm here champion people. I'm saying, look, when you're approaching people, we're getting older. You can't just cuss. And if I'm trying to tell you something, Rudy, for you to understand me. I can't just cuss you off because you're gonna close off.
Yeah.
How am I gonna?
Slim, I'm gonna ask you a question then. Is that the advantage of being a comedian, traveling up and down the country, and seeing white people for who they are?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, we travel up and down the country, see people.
You say we. I know some people who don't come out the M25.
It's true. It's true. I mean, everywhere you travel is different, innit? I mean, even where we live, you got good and bad everywhere. That's how I see it. I'm getting older.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna just fight down one race because even ourselves, we've got children. And I always say this. I've got 3 boys.
Okay.
My biggest fear for my sons growing up, especially as teenagers, is not white people or even the police. When they go out, it is that's the baby. Look, now
If you look like you have your ears, he's got your ears, Taraj.
Yeah,
look at the ears.
Yeah. But you see, your biggest fear when they go out is of youths that look like them harming them.
Okay.
So that's why I don't sit down and fight down one thing. There's a lot of problems in all aspects of life that you're dealing with. Yeah. What we do, we tend to lean to, we're in a white country. If you're going to avoid living in a white country and trying to avoid white people, that would be ridiculous. So then you pick the ones that is like-minded. It's like that in all forms of life. It don't matter if about skin color. You hang around with like-minded people. If you're on your hustle, doesn't matter if another guy's the same color as you. If he ain't on his hustle or his waist, man, you might not spar with him. True. That's got nothing to do with color. That's to do with the mentality.
Your mentality. Yeah.
So we find people in our society that is like-minded, that think this is wrong, that believes that is. Yeah, they've got morals and principles similar to yours. Doesn't matter their skin color. And it's for them and ourselves to get within positions, which slowly is happening.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
To make change. Plus, as you said, the younger generation are actually growing up and thinking, hang on a minute, is that how you lot used to go on to them? Do you see what I mean? Excuses used in the 70s can't be used, especially if you're a working class racist guy, white guy. You can't use them excuses back in the 70s. When the next door neighbor's got a better car than you, you tell your kids he nicked it. He's selling drugs. Back in the day, that's what it is. Not that your dad's a carpenter or a skilled plumber or a skilled something. He nicked it. That's the excuse. They nicked it. They didn't get it fairly. That lets me off the hook.
Okay. And that's what I like. You know, that's what I like about your comedy, to be honest with you, is that you don't tell jokes. You actually don't tell. You talk life, and you make a lot of comparisons with what it was yesterday to what it is today. I mean, I remember when we did Harrow Art Centre. You did Harrow Art Centre for me, and you was talking about the blue stamp that we used to have to use to send letters, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the
blue little thing. But that's how it was.
It's the way that you bring the memories. You bring the memories onto the stage, and you start creating pictures. Yeah. You know what I mean? To remind people about what it was like back in the day. I mean, I've got a classic.
We love to reminisce, Rudes. We love to reminisce.
I've got a classic example of you sharing such a memory with everybody. Yeah, like right here.
Anybody under 40, I don't think will know what that is. Maybe 45. Rudi, you remember the outside toilets?
Yeah.
Outside toilet. Look at it. Ready for you with full of spider and all the creepy coolie and shit. You ain't gonna get sound on that. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I can't hear nothing.
So what, you couldn't hear it, Slim?
I couldn't hear a thing, but I know. Obviously, I know the set with the
You
picture.
know the set.
I know.
You know the set.
I know
Let me
the
just
set.
ask them lot in the comments. Could you not hear that? By the way, I'm hoping that you guys all heard that. You know, you got quite a few people, loads of people shouting out to you at the moment, Slim.
Yes, Donna
Yeah.
Ben. Is that from Broccoli? Yes, he size. Yes, Julie Juice.
Yeah,
Big up
yeah.
yourself, Miss Eo. Sharon Spice. Big up yourself. Antigua and Alison from Antigua. I think that is old Alison that used to work here in the comedy shows back in the day for Ken. Lovely lady, man, but she moved abroad.
Okay.
So big up yourself. It is that Alison. Yes, Carl. Can see your big man.
Yeah, wait, hold on. People,
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
a few people are saying there was Rudi, no sound. Stop, laugh, and share the joke.
You see, this is what I'm saying. So it's only Rudi one here that you know.
You know what? It came through my earphones loud. It came through my earphones loud. Trust me, it did. Trust
Rudi,
me,
you're
it did.
teasing the people, then, man.
No, I mean for tease them.
Yes, Phil. Big up.
What I'm gonna do, right, is I don't want no one to miss that. Yeah, is I'm gonna because I reckon it's a. Whoa, that was loud, man, in my ears. That was freaking loud. Is
You're getting old, you know. You're blind. Your ears are going. That wasn't loud. You know when you was young and your mum and dad said, "Turn on the TV. It's too loud," and you thought it's not loud, you know.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
You've got to that age now, Rude.
Is that where I'm at now? Yeah.
Your granddad. Come on, bruv.
There's not. You know what? It took me a while to get used to being a granddad. Yeah, man. It took me a little while because at first, when my grandson first started talking, yeah, he used to come up to me and look at me, and he and look at me, yeah, and he wanted to. He was going gra, and I weren't answering him.
Yeah, I call you like you know them.
Yeah, I won't answer because I was like, the moment I answer you, yeah, that means that I've put age on myself. Yeah. So I said, me nah answer you. Poor thing. He would just come up to me and go, good. And I'm just looking at him going, yeah.
You're wicked, you know. God to see you. God's gonna punish you for that, Rudi. Rudi denied the name, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man, me nah jump up to that. I'm gonna try it again, and hopefully everybody can hear it because it's worth. It really is. It's.
You have to turn it out.
Before that, cold. Not even central heating. Some people didn't have toilets in the house. Who's old enough to remember going out the backyard into that outside toilet? Now you remember what the young ones would call a shed? Was actually, that's where the toilets was. It wasn't in the house. It was attached outside. So you had to go out the back door into what the young ones would class a shed. You're going there full of fucking spiders. Now remember, you would never ever look where you're pissing. You piss up the people that for the spiders, man. I piss it up and run off. I don't care. Not washing my hands. I wipe it on your carpet, bitch.
Because that's what I'm saying. You don't actually tell jokes, do you?
No, I say I'm a good moaner. I've perfected moaning.
Is that how you call your style?
Yeah, man. I'm miserable. My kids think I'm miserable. Most of them think I'm miserable. At some point, they'll laugh because I say, "Jesus, you're miserable."
Yeah.
I'm not miserable. What it is, I don't
you.
take no check, and I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Okay.
And I think that helps me. I say it as I see it. I don't really want to shy away from subjects, stuff that people can relate to. I can try to sit down and construct a joke made out of nothing from people. But I find that if people can relate to you and you can connect to them on experiences and, stuff they know.
Right.
You're more to get a good fan base because they think, well, fuck me, I'm not the only one going through this. Do you know what I mean?
But then coming from a background of 15 years of working on the buses, Yeah, and you was more of a sound man back then, if I'm correct.
That's correct. Yeah, I used to do sound system, man. And you know what? We got into places looking back on it now that you never got in. We got residency for I think about a year in Podium when it was called Podium.
I remember,
along with other resident DJs. We got a residency at the time. The average person was 17, 18, but I was 15. I always used to hang around with the older boys. So I'm going in Podium dressing my church clothes, you know.
See,
the blazer, the shirt, everything I got is for church. It weren't for no nightclub. But you know, and so I got great experience doing the sound system. Limelights, that was used to be in Crystal Palace. Right. We had little resident. I think that was 6 or 8 months residency, nearly a year there. So we moved around. Dougie's nightclub. We played at Night Moves. We played at. So yeah, and then then comedy came along.
So how did the comedy come along?
Comedy came along through Curtis. It was a summer that Curtis is from Brixton. I'm from Brixton. I grew up in Brockley, but originally I was born in Brixton. So I've got family still in Brixton, but I've got family also in Southeast. So I'm always backwards and forwards between the two. That summer I met Curtis and Ishmael. And I'd known of them through Blouse and Skirts.
Right.
No, that's before the Real McCoy, sorry.
Real McCoy. Okay.
Through the Real McCoy, sorry. And we just started to hang out. They invited me to a comedy show up in Liverpool, it was. And it was like
Liverpool.
They just, on the whim, you know how they man, you want to come to a comedy show. So I thought wicked. It's a couple of days later, and we left and we went up there, and I was just blown away, bro, because it was like Felix Dexter, Leo Chester, Robbie G, Eddie Nestor. It's just like all big names that me as a 21-year-old. Hang on, let me think. Yeah, I was about 21 because I'd met Curtis when I was about 18. So this is a couple of years later. Because I met him when my boy. I go by the age of my kids, when I meet people. That's what I use. So, yes. And I remember what age I was. And I remember I met him. So, they invited me to a show. Went to the show, blown away. You're sitting down there. I don't know if you knew comedians before you actually became a comedian. But when you meet, when you go to a show and somebody else is performing, sometimes you're looking around. You're not even watching the show. You're looking around at
people,
how the audience is reacting to
the vibe.
Right.
It's the vibe, blood. It's the vibe.
And it's the vibes. And I felt proud of them. I left. I said, boy, you lot ain't fucking easy. It was a wicked show. Came back down. And Curtis and Ishmael split up, unfortunately. And Curtis started a solo career. And he done a one-man show in Hackney Empire as his first one-man show by himself.
To come out. Yeah,
that's
I was there that night.
Right, I came on after the break for about 3 to 5 minutes. Oh no, it wouldn't have been 5. It would have been more 3 minutes. Yeah, it was a very short thing where Curtis pushed me out on stage. Well, before he says to me at the break, "You want to go on?" Because they always said you should go and try a little bit of comedy. You want to go on, but he's under liquor at the time. You remember, I didn't know Curtis like I know him now. So they'd been under liquor, and Curtis would come on. Curtis under liquor. Go on up there, man. You can do it. Well, I thought he meant he had faith in me. He most probably fucking didn't. So I've gone up there, and I will say I had a couple of shot of brandies, and I had a little Bob Marley special filtered, as they say. Do you know what I mean? Round the back. And then I went on stage. I spoke about, I remember what it was. It was meeting your girlfriend's parents for the first time.
Okay, cool.
Because as a 21-year-old,
that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Around them time there.
And if you remember back in the day, if the dad was in the house, it's a different argument, innit, Rudes? Than if the mum was there. Because the dad's there, blood. There'll be no upstairs in no bedroom. You'll have to be in the front room.
Everything is in the front room. Everything is in the front room. But you have to. just get a quick feel up when they step out, innit? That's what it is.
Right.
That's all you could do, innit?
Right.
But you know
So
what?
it's
It was
a
funny though,
scenario.
because
Yeah.
those little vibes, those little things, those little teething moments. You get me?
Everyone went through.
Everybody went through. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Because that's
So-
how I learned. That's how I learned to do the bra strap with the left hand pretty quickly. It was like that,
Yeah.
pop, 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 pop. It's them little routines you had to learn. You had to learn them quick. You had to learn them quick, rude boy.
This
So you went out.
just like this.
Sorry, bro. But so you went out for the first time, and the response. What was the response? What was that? How did that make? Because
Do you know what? It was wicked. And you know what? Because I had a smoke and drink and the nervousness, it made everything rush around me and fast. So where I got the first proper big laugh, I had chuckles, but when I got a really big laugh, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was concentrating on the laughing.
Okay.
In my body, I was like, this, Ross. They liked it. They liked it. I mean, this was a full Hackney Empire, bro. This is the first time on stage. So the fact they liked like the thing, what was it that I done? So I said like the dad will end up asking you questions, and we always say something different from what we really mean.
Of
so
course.
Then I start saying the questions. Oh, what do you want with my daughter? So you tell the dad, oh, she's really nice. She helps me with my homework. I'm really able to study. You know, like make it feel like shit. But what you want to say to him? Why your daughter? Right. So it's different stories like that. You take drugs? No, never. Why? You know what I mean? But it would be like, why? You have them? In real life, you have some Rizla, you have cigarette, where do we eat there? Understand? So the laugh that I got quickly off that, it just blew me. And I just forgot that there's to keep talking.
Right.
So the laughter died down.
Now they're waiting. Now they're waiting. They're expecting you to carry on. Yeah.
Rudy, I was shitting myself. It was only a couple of seconds, but it seems like at least 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's only a couple of seconds. And I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Then I said, just tell them the truth. And I said to them, look, I had more, but I was nervous before I came on. And I had a bit of a spliff and some brandy. So I forgot.
Oh, from the time
and they laughed.
From the time you did that. Yeah, from the time. Because you called it. Yeah, you called it. You called it.
I called it. There's nothing else I could do but just tell them the truth.
Yeah.
So from that, I do that from on stage. I will give a lot of the stuff I do. I will be truthful to my audience.
Yeah, because when you open up, you're not sure exactly what's going to come out. You know you got some stuff you're going to want to say, but those first 3-4 minutes, are those planned?
Usually the beginning, like you got different sets or different things you want to say, new writing, etc., etc. So if you've got 20 minutes, the average is 20 minutes, yeah? On average. You get longer sets, but on average when people book is 20-minute sets. And I usually think of, say, the first 1, 2, maybe 3 subjects I want to talk about. That don't mean that I will actually go out there and do that in that order, but at least I've got some kind of
idea where you're going.
Yeah.
Because
it's happening in the night that you add on right at the beginning. You've seen it. Something
that's what I'm saying. Because it is about being in the moment, is it not?
Yeah. Spot
you
on.
know.
Evening, everybody. I see the little comments coming up.
They're popping up, man. They're popping up. But may I ignore them? They will cuss me later on. They'll be, Rudy, never see me put down this comment in. Yeah, we never put down this comment there. We have to tell them, you know what?
Social, man. Social.
You know what? I say God. But I have to allow you basically to talk your talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing is that now you're 15 years in on the buses, yeah?
Yeah.
And so how did the progression happen there for you? Because was it gradual or was it just take off? You know, like I think there's some comedians who just take off, you know, because you've got like your social. I mean, when I talk about social, I'm talking about the internet comics.
Yeah.
Now, who just take off.
Yeah.
And there's
we didn't have internet.
That is true.
God bless them. If we had it, we'd have used it. Technology just weren't there. Like a lot of different things from past era. If it was there for them, they'd have used it. So I don't blame them, but I'm glad that I was the last of that old school. What's now, obviously, new generations coming out. A lot of them make their fans via the internet.
Okay.
But you can't beat being on the stage. You know, the stage. You're there up there. You bear yourself to a full audience that can either like you or not.
I mean, you are literally naked. It is the equivalent of being naked, and I think a lot of people don't appreciate as a comic is that we've got no music. There's no music backing us.
No,
You get me? There's no backing singers.
no.
Yeah, it's just a mic.
Nothing to distract you.
Yeah, just a mic. You and the stage.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I wouldn't have it no other way because, I mean, on social network, you put up something, people like it. Yeah, it's really good, but you can't beat laughter, man. Come on, Rudy. You finish with the audience and you've made this whole room, or the majority. Sometimes you can't make everybody laugh, but the majority had a good old chuckle. You can't beat that, man. Doctor can't heal so much people one time.
That's true.
You understand? Doctor can't heal it. He's got to see them one at a time to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was Felix. Felix used to do the joke about how do you know what I mean? Sometimes when he sees an ambulance,
yeah.
You get me, and a man all broke up, and he's like, "Get out of the way, get out of the way. Let me tell this man I drew up. Let me cheer him up."
You understand? That's right. You understand? That's what it is. And I do believe it's an important job. Now I do respect the job because at some point, as a comedian in your career, you will get somebody, if you're good enough or to a certain standard, people that will come up to you and say to you, you know what? For some reason, they've had some tragedy.
Yes.
Haven't been out. Yeah, you ever had that, Rudy? The person they've been out for X amount of time. This happened in their life, and someone persuaded them to come out to a comedy show, and they thoroughly enjoyed it, and they ain't laughed like that. And come on, bro. Long time.
But then I think sometimes that's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? Because it's like you could do a joke about. You used to do jokes anyway about peanuts. Yes. Not knowing that somebody's child died from a peanut allergy. Do you understand what I'm saying, Slim?
Yeah. But you could listen. If that was the case, you wouldn't write jokes. You wouldn't write jokes. I could say something like this: if my son was to do this, I'd bloody kill him. Somebody has killed their son. Does that say we stop writing jokes? That says something like that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do hear that. But do you think to yourself that comedians should have a sense of responsibility for
No, at the end of the day, the joke isn't about an individual child. The fact is, I'm saying a lot of the kids are a lot of adults are scared of kids now. They're violent, they're this, they're that. My joke is, how violent can you be with allergies? That's a fair enough thing. People question it. Do you understand? So I'm not going to say no. I don't think like that. If somebody finds that offensive, fuck them. I don't mean I mean that, Rudy, because I'm not a shock comedian. No. I will tell you my truths, but I'm not a shock comedian. I don't go out there to find something offensive. Yeah, really, to say maybe my truth might offend you, but I don't go out to find something, say, let me shock everybody by saying this. And at the end of the day, people die. I didn't write that because of that. I just know that from the year 2000, most kids now, they're allergic to something. That back in the day, as I said, I draw on back in the day. At a primary school, one of your friends from primary school invites you to their 8th, 9th birthday party, council flat, blah, blah, mum and dad. You go there. Peanuts was just there unsupervised.
Unsupervised peanuts.
So how then is someone going to get upset with me by saying these kids are too soft? And forget about this gangster thing. Just buy some peanut butter. Yeah. Just buy some oily fish.
It is funny. Without a shadow of a doubt, it is funny. But then political correctness has come in in such a
Listen,
way.
there's no political correctness. Let me correct this now. There's a show on TV called Family Guy,
Yep.
An American Dad. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What audience roughly is that aimed for?
14-year-olds.
14 to about what? 25.
25, yeah.
Right. 14 to 25. Now, this is the same age group that are supposed to be cancer culture, innit?
Yep. Yep.
Do you see them? Do you see them asking for? Because if you watch that show, everything's up for offer. Disability, color, sexuality. They batter everybody. Yes or no?
Of course they do, but there's
Why
no.
ain't they been cancelled? Why ain't they been cancelled? These you just said the same 14 to 25-year-olds say are the cancel cultures, the one that get upset every time.
These are the ones who are getting upset, yeah.
Hold on, but they watch it on cartoon every day. You remember this thing's been going on from they've been growing up, and they ain't cancelled it. They say the most outrageous things on there and got the most offensive jokes.
Well, I mean, I think we grew up with that. I mean, you know,
You're not hearing me. You just
I'm
said
hearing you. I'm hearing you.
is
I'm
that
hearing
what?
you. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, Slim. I genuinely am hearing you. I'm just saying that it's a contradiction in terms, right? With them, because I mean, we grew up with Tom and Jerry, which was one of the most violent cartoons when you seriously think about it. In terms of the way that Tom used to get treated, he used to get hit in the face with an iron Tarati. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we had enough sense not to take that practical. Did you then?
And that's the same. No, but isn't that the same argument that they would use when it comes to, because it's fashioned in a cartoon that it's okay?
All right, watch me. Watch it. Watch. Society, the world's full of contradictions. You're not allowed to hit your kid as a parent, yeah? If police turn up at your house now and your son was going on mad and this and that, and they said, right, we're taking you in, and you resist arrest and start fling thump and that, what will the police do to then put your child under control? What legally can they do to him? Name some things.
Well, they will say they will restrain him.
They can taser him. Yes? Can they taser him? That's electricity, yeah?
Yeah.
Can they hit him with a nightstick, which is metal? Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah.
But you,
as a parent,
are not allowed to touch them. But they can do that without. Listen, don't watch the world. Make your own laws. You got enough. That's why our parents put common sense in us. You got common law. There's laws there that some things ain't common sense, and you can't always go with something because it's law. That's not common sense. I can't trust my child, but you can fire something into him that is going to put, I think it's 50,000 volts.
Yep.
Are you listening to me?
No, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
And what do they call it? Reasonable force.
Reasonable force. So what sort of? I mean, we just about maybe 15 minutes or so ago, we saw that you've got 3 boys. I mean, how did you use to discipline your boys? What was your approach?
Look, Pickney, by the time they're 3, you can have them sorted. You're big man, Rudy. Most of the viewers are big people.
Yeah, they are.
Growing up, you've been to households where the mum and dad ain't got no control, the kid don't listen, and then youths where they don't mess with them. They don't mess with no one, aunties, no one. Come here, sit down.
Yeah. That's it.
And he's only 2-3, and you see him go and do it. No question.
Yeah.
Then you got the bright ass one. You tell them to sit down, they stand up like this, looking at you, like who you're talking to. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
You can sort them out. All it is, kids learn from a young age. It's one of the first things they learn, Let's be truthful. Yes, no.
Well, those are the words that they hear mostly. No, they mostly hear the word no.
And they see this when they can't talk and they don't know, no, baby.
Yeah.
You get the 1 finger, 2 finger licking it.
And don't forget the conch.
No. What they really, baby? You're like, come off it. Leave it alone. And they look at you like, what did it say? Come.
Yeah.
And as it get older, it's
Yeah.
and more fingers until I start using belt and all. You understand, Rudy?
I'm with you. I'm
Look,
with you on that.
by the time you're 3, I'm not saying you're never gonna have to talk to them or maybe chastise them. It depends what they've done, Rude. I'm not saying
I hear you. I think they're all individuals at different levels, and you just know how to deal with them intellectually once they reach certain age, or not even so much age. I would think a certain set of mentality. Once they reach a certain mentality, you then decide whether or not you're going to reason or how far you're going to reason. But another question. This question has been up on here for quite a while actually, and I didn't want to move it. It was from Natural Mystic, and she said, "Would you write a UK comedy film, a series, or a book which included your jokes? A bit like Bernie Mac."
Oh yeah, definitely. That's actually a good question. Never been asked that. Yeah, I would. I'm gonna do the whole lot. Don't listen. You lot known me for 27 years, but you have to remember, to the mainstream, I'm still a secret. They don't know who I am.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So me going there is brand new. I always put it like this metaphor of, you know, when you left primary school, yeah, Rude?
Mm-hmm.
It was 4th years, innit? Top boy in primary school. When you left, you lot was the biggest in the year, innit?
That's right. And then you go into a new field, and you're the little one.
You're
again.
the little one again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fresh start. It's like, that's how I feel.
Okay. Because you are, I mean, like you said, it's been 27 years. I mean, what was this feeling for you when you saw that?
That's Photoshop, man. That went up in our tube station.
Is that Photoshopped?
That's Photoshop, man.
Oh, well, at least you kept it real, because I wasn't sure.
Man, I gotta be man. That's Photoshop. It looked good, man, so I put it in my thing. But somebody sent it to me, Photoshop. They put me on that. They put me on the side of a New York building. They put me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's Photoshop, man. But this is what I'm saying. That will come. You know, you're only finished if people know you about, you know. And I've always kept relevant. Do you see what I mean? And that's the most important thing. That's
the hardest thing. I think what I'm going to say is the easiest thing for me, because I've you know, is to get to the top.
You think
that's easy? Yeah, man.
Yeah, staying there.
Getting to the top is easy. Getting to the top is easy, blood. Staying there, right, is another thing. Don't you think, Slim?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Because I'm gonna pick the 2 of them and I asked them for it where they gone. They don't know where it is. My first 2, you know, that I got, I said, let me give it to my picnic them, because I'd moved, me and their mum had split up, and I'd give it to them. They're still young, so I gave it to them. There was about 9, 10, that kind of age. They're 25 and 20 and all that now. And I asked them a couple of years ago, where's 2 of them? Yeah, the very first one I got, a black one, and another. They don't know.
Because I mean, you were 9 times. You got 9 times winner of the Black Male Comedian.
Yeah.
Comedy Awards.
Yeah.
That did. I'll tell you, Slim. That fucking pissed me off, blood.
Why? You know what? I'll tell you the honest truth, Rude.
I'm not. No. Wait. I'm joking with you when I say that.
No, I know that. I know that.
Cool.
I didn't set out to. I've always liked making people laugh from young. Yeah, I didn't have to join gang and blah blah. I could hang around with who I want. You had bad man in the area, you had this in the area. You could spar socially with who you want, whether you see them in the youth club or whatever growing up. I didn't have to pick no side, no legion, and I like that. Being funny, you don't have to pick no sides with nothing. You notice that, Rude?
Yeah. No, because I was not that guy.
No, you were a rude boy. You were that guy.
Yeah, I weren't that guy. I weren't that guy. I wasn't a bad boy, you know. I weren't a rude boy, bad boy in that kind of sense. Believe it or not. But, yeah. I mean, I was quite a serious brother, to be honest with you. Quite a serious brother, in truth. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I wasn't. I wasn't even the bully boy. I didn't have to be. This was it. I was the guy who had the common sense. That's who I was. You know what I mean? So I could just drop a man with a few words, right? But I didn't. Yeah, that was it. You shut up. Fuck off. Come out my face, that idiot, that dickhead, right? Whereas, I mean, you were the youngest. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
in my family. Yeah.
Right.
And you know
So,
what? I had an older mum as well. So
right.
I feel quite calm. And my mum was a church woman and all that. So really, there was no need for me to get into. There's no need really for me to get into no real trouble. And do you know what is strange? I don't know if other people who came, who are born in England, but they've got Caribbean parents or African parents. I didn't want to bring no shame on my mum. I thought she came from abroad to come here. My mum's proper clean living, proper clean living. And I just didn't want to bring no shame on her. That is one of the reasons. 2, I'm claustrophobic. You know? Yeah, man, I didn't want to bring no shame. My mum had me at 44.
Right.
You see what I'm saying to you? My mum had me at 44 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I'm 10, she's 54.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I'm 20, she's 64. She's like a lot of people's grandmas at that age.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to bring no shame to her, man. Yeah, she's a peaceful living woman that had good name in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So for me then to bring shame to her, and it was her one struggling to do her thing. You know?
Yeah, but my thing is, where I'm going with this, in a sense, is that because you were the baby, you were the younger one. That's where you used to take the fucking piss.
Obviously you're spoiled, because by the time didn't you hear what I said? By the time she was a certain age, she tired. Yeah, a 10-year-old getting beaten by a 54-year-old is different than a 33-year-old. You understand? Mum's only got about 4 or 5 strokes in her, and then she died. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know. I think all younger ones are spoiled in a certain way. I think parents get tired. My youngest ones, I'm a bit more lenient with. I'm not saying where discipline's concerned, but you're tired. You run through number 1, told that fucking idiot. Then the second one come along. And then the third one, and then, no man, I'm tired now. I'm tired. As long as they don't burn down the house, go on with what I'll go on with. That's how you feel.
Because you're spending more time now that your children are a lot older. You've got more time to yourself, if I'm correct.
100%. Because after the kids, I looked after my dad.
Right.
For 8 years as his carer.
Yeah.
And obviously I had help doing the job I'm doing. You know, I had to have a little help. So, you know, I had 2 close friends, 3 actually, that would come and check on him if I weren't here. And yeah, so now Pop's passed age 93, 2016.
Yeah, I remember that, because that was the night. Remember that night was the night when I opened up the comedy base.
Yes,
which was meant to be a hub for all the comics, and everybody was there apart from you. Do you remember?
Yes. Pops went 93. Yeah. Good innings, man. He was born 1922, man. Good innings. You understand? But yeah, after I looked after him, I realized kids grown. You done the duty as a child to care for your parents, because these younger kids are not looking after us. I'm telling you that, Rudy.
See.
No, they're not looking after us. Invest in Android, robot, AI. You know that thing? Can I serve you? Invest now. You understand? They'll be around in the next 30 years. You understand? You already got a sex doll like that. So it's only a matter of time before you can get a servant like that. I'm not relying on the picnic them.
See.
They're not that generation. You can
no,
see
they're
it.
not actually. You can see it. I've noted it, and I've, you know, what I mean, I'm very much aware. But I still feel it for them, because I think our generation was the last of, and we're not even getting it anymore, of a decent pension. I mean, when you let go of London Transport, you realise you let go of the pension,
Yeah. I mean, look, the bottom line is, I'd done comedy for about 2 years, 3 years in, I thought to myself, definitely, I can't see me doing anything else. I mean, I was still working. I never actually gave up work until I was 35, 36.
Okay. Whoa, I didn't know. I realized that.
I used to drive buses, or I'd do some kind of daytime job. up until I was about 36.
That's got to be tough, though, isn't it? That's got to be tough if you've got to be 1 minute. Hear me out. 1 minute. You know what I mean? You're in Hackney Empire. You understand what I'm saying? And you're killing it, and everyone's watching it. And then they go and see you on Tuesday stacking the shelves in Tesco. That's fucking
Yeah, but this is the thing.
That's how it is. Yeah.
I didn't mind. I got my kids to feed. If the black circuit can pay you a certain money, yeah. They always say the black circuit will get you the car, the white circuit will maintain it.
Yes. Okay. That's how I was.
The black circuit will get you the house, but the white circuit will maintain it. So I'll tell you honest truth, I've never really business what people say like that, you know. I don't live for people like that. That's why, if you notice, even on my Instagram, I'm not on it every minute. I don't. You live for, when I say you live for, you work for to please the people that like your style of comedy. I'm not here to please everyone in the world. I'm not here to be everything to everyone neither. So, yeah, I don't pay attention to people that would say, oh, you blah, blah. Yeah, me, I work for my picnic them and all. And if you meet any of my kids,
I want to say something here. I want to say something here because not everybody's going to know this. I mean, yeah, you were one of the first to be invited over to the Comedy Store, yeah? Yeah?
In LA.
In LA.
Yes.
Yeah? And you could have got the bug then to leave the UK, and go about your selfish ways. But you chose
2006.
Yeah, but you chose to stand by your kids, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. My little boy. I mean, look, I've got 4 biological and 2 stepkids, but at the time, I had just the 4. The last one, the other ones were quite grown. They were like, at the time, they'd have been like 12, 19, 20. So they were near enough big. But this one, he's only 7 or 8. And I remember explaining to him, I came back from Hollywood, I had a great time. They were saying, look, come out, come and do things. They're quite business like that.
Yeah.
And I had the right connections out there because of previous comedians I supported. And obviously I'd gone over there a few times anyway.
Yeah, because I mean, you were supporting quite a few of the, you know, Eddie, Chris Rock's brother,
Tony Rock,
Johnny Rock, and them guys. Do you know what I mean? But I remember coming across that crossroad of, do I go to the States? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, leave the family and make them just. But I mean,
see, so on one hand, Rudy, people will say, yeah, but if you went, then obviously you'd make it big, you'd make money, but that could take a good couple of years. Good 2 to 4 years, maybe. You're not going to just go over there and bang. Yeah, and unless you got a deal where they're going to move everyone over, which you really get straight away like that, you've got to leave them. And you know what? I always said, money's not my God. It's important because of the system that's put in place. You can't live without money. You've got to earn money, and that's how the system is. If you want to buy things, so obviously it's got some importance, but it's not top of my list. I'm not gonna, for money, sell out someone, or for money leave my kid. It's just not in me, bro. You know, I grew up without a dad in the house, and I loved my dad because I ended up looking after him, but he wasn't responsible like that. So I think it made me more as a person growing up saying, well, make sure you're around, make sure if they need you, make sure you're there, you know, financially and everything else. So, and you know, I sit down and I watch the celebrity world, and I see so much people, not even just in the celebrity world. You watch interviews and that of high flyers and that, and sometimes once their kids are grown and you interview them, they say, "Well, what is the only
regret
that they didn't spend enough time with their kids? Half the time they ain't even got a relationship with the kid. The kid don't know them."
It's funny that, because I was watching an interview with Tony Curtis last night. 7 kids, he left none of them any of his inheritance, none of them really even knew him, and this, we're talking about, when I mention Tony Curtis, everybody in the room should know that we're talking about a mega star.
Yeah.
but his family was actually in tatters. And I commend you for making that that decision when
That
you
just
did.
should be automatic. If you become, watch me, the minute you become a parent, doesn't matter what your dreams and aspirations are. And I'm not saying you mustn't follow them or give up on them, but your youth's got to come first. The truth is, now your kids are big, Rude. Now you've got big kids. You realize their childhood is only a really small part of their life, innit?
Right.
In the scheme of things, all right, for instance, my dad lived to 93. So take away 16 years out of that. That's all you got. If you're going to live a long life or your child has a long life ahead, you've only got to sacrifice to grow them only a small part. Do you see what I mean? Of your life. So I don't know. I was willing to make the sacrifice.
You was willing. You made the sacrifice, Liam. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You actually made it, and
I just done what was in me. So you think about it, and I just said I can't leave him, and he cried and said, "Oh, I'm gonna leave him," and that upset me. I thought, I can't leave you, man. Most people don't know I cuss the kids, but I have a really good relationship with my kids. It's therapy of what you would like to do to them, but you never do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah. So I'm getting the blessings now.
Of course you are. I mean, I think this is where the big break really came.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that done. That gave me a new generation of followers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I was known before 2009, but I will admit that MTV-based thing gave me a new. Because remember, we was doing the university circuit beforehand, weren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
What Kojo came along and cleverly he amalgamated it into one thing and a nightclub where you could actually go and see it without having to be in uni. So he gave me, I will say, the show and its platform gave me a whole new generation of followers, of followers, which is beautiful.
That trolley basket routine,
the youngsters love that.
Yeah.
Because what it is in every generation, you're viewed as something else. You understand, Rudy? So when I first started as a 20-year-old on stage, the audience would have viewed me as their cheeky little brother. Do you know what I mean? Because I was performing at first to people that were older than me.
Older, yeah, that's right.
It wasn't a university crowd. People are literally in their 30s and 40s, are proper or big late people, 20s. Big people. I don't know where the careers. Rudy, that's just me. That's all I can say. But a lot of people say, "How do you do this? How do you?" I don't know, bro.
It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift,
and I've managed to harness it on the stage, and I'm just grateful that. I mean, I've been doing this 27 years, and I thought about it the other day. I said it to my kids. I said, "You know how long I've been doing this?" I said, "I've been doing this the same amount of time Nelson Mandela spent in prison."
See.
Nelson done 27 years, in it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Yeah. And they're like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But basically, out of my kids, 2 of them were born when I wasn't a comic. The rest of them was born with me being a comedian. They don't know me really doing any other job, especially the youngest one.
Okay.
So it's been a hot second, man.
It has, but then you've cultivated a lot of respect amongst the peer group, because what you've never done is you've never held your status over them or made them feel inferior in any sort of way, But what was your relationship with Richard?
Richard, look, me, Richard, Jeannie Ashere, and Todru are class of 93, 94. Because we all started off between those years. I would meet each other at different competitions. There was a guy in Brixton, Danny. I can't remember what his surname.
Yeah, that's Dan. The Danny that he's making reference to is Kwaku's cousin.
That's correct. I can't remember what his surname. I used to do the comedy show in what's the church in Brixton? It started off there at first.
St. Michael's. Michael?
St. Mark. I can't know.
St.
St. Matthews.
The
St. Matthews.
village. St. Matthews, the village. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the church right in the middle.
Yeah, Minor.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Womiaga Win. We're talking about
Yeah.
Cabaret. We're talking about the Black Comedy Club.
Yes, that's correct.
We're talking about, it's one of the houses of Black British comedy.
Yeah.
It housed all of that.
That's where we started, man. And you've got to remember, I'll give it up for us. I'll tell you why. I thought about it the other day. All of us are still in employment in some form or shape. And, you know, for us to come, we was the generation that came straight after the A Force. Right.
So that's Angie.
The real McCoy, sorry, not the A Force, the real McCoy, because Gina was part of the A Force. She weren't known at that time. So we're talking the real McCoy days. Mm-hmm. So the real McCoys had all these wicked stars. Plus they were performing live. You could go and see.
Yeah, that was thanks to John Smith.
But you could see them live. Now we had to follow, without that TV exposure, these new black comics that are from ends, and we didn't do too bad, I don't think.
No, they gave you a good platform. That's how I interpretate it.
You get a good platform, but this is the thing. Once you're given a platform, it's for you to prove yourself.
Minasino, you hear me say
no? You see what I'm saying? No, I don't mean that. I just mean across the board.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get promoters like that. Me, blah blah. But no, you gave me the chance, which I'm grateful for. But if I went up there and done shit, you would not give me another gig. That's how it goes.
That's true.
So you've got to thank the person for the opportunity, but then you've got to prove yourself.
Do the job.
Yeah, I could get you a middleweight fight, championship fight tomorrow. Yeah, there you go, Rudy. You're in. And then you got to prove yourself, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Get the opportunity, prove yourself, man. And I think that's what we've done over time. As I said, myself, Jeannie Asheray, she's over LA, kicking it up right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're all extremely proud of her. I mean, she's moved on to the point where she's actually got a social voice now.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
that's correct.
You know, and that's I think that's one of the beauties of comedy, in that it can actually do that. It can actually make a change. But I think it's a question of what people actually want to get out of it, if you follow what I mean.
Out of what, social commentary or
out of the comedy itself. You could either want money, you could either want fame, you could either want women. You know what I mean? It's a question of what is it you really want, or what is it you really desire. And it's funny talking to Jefferson and Whitfield. You know, they never really, like yourself in a sense, there was no intention to reach the heights that they've actually reached.
Them man, they're skilled, man. I weren't skilled. Do you understand? You know, you say, I'll pick me out here, teen. What skill you think? Say, you think I had a diploma by then? Yeah,
yeah, skill in something. You had a skill in something, bruv. And you know what I mean? 4 picnics later on, you find out what your skill is. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. But when I say they were skilled, I think they was in good jobs already. Like,
they were in jobs, but not only that, they were coming from the background of the church, right? And getting up in front of the congregation and singing.
Yeah.
Whereas people like yourself and Kwaku were raw in the sense you was getting up in front of an audience more or less straight away. I mean, do you remember having to do gigs like this?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Comedy roast.
You know.
Yeah. We've done every gig, man.
You know, which was which was like a battle than it was than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I'll tell you what, it's when you write out a CV, that's when you realize exactly the extent of what you've done. Sometimes because this year comes, that year comes, and the years pass quite quickly.
Yeah, it just slides into slides into another.
Yeah, so by the time people say, "Oh, do you remember 2007 when you done that big?" and you're talking how much it is now. So it's when you write it out, write it down as in front of you in writing, that you say, "Oh, all right, yeah, well, I ain't done too bad." But as I said, I'm 27 years in. I'm still getting bookings. I'm still in demand.
Right.
I'm still writing. I've still got one-man shows ahead of me. As I said, this job isn't age restricted.
No, I think
That's the beautiful thing.
you actually season. I think you've got more to say.
Yeah, because you're older.
As you get older, you've actually got more to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about your one-man show that you did at the Hackney Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because was that the one that you took to Edinburgh?
Yes, I did. Slim in Wonderland.
Mm.
Yeah, I done 2011. I done it in Edinburgh. I think it's 2009. I done that one, though in Hackney. Or did I do it 2011 and bring it up the same year? I think I bring it up the same year.
Okay, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show everybody a clip, right? And then I'm going to be leaving Facebook. Okay, I'm going to be leaving Facebook. I'm going to be going over to YouTube.
And how you do that? Because last time you disappeared, I mean, I don't know where you did disappear go.
Is it? You didn't know where I disappeared? I saw me do it. Then call me Mr. Elusive. That's what I'm calling me, Mr. Elusive.
Can you hear it? Because I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Can you hear it now? Can you hear it now?
Yeah, you got to turn it up though. Sounds low.
It can't go no higher, you know.
Oh, that's it. They must be able to hear it then.
Oh God. That looked like a young Slim to me, boy. When I see that,
I tell you, and I'm full of grey hair now.
I just see a very young man there saying now.
Yeah, man.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah, man. I must have been about 30 something then. Yeah. There's a good couple of years. That must be 13, 14-year-old picture. So we not look too bad. I mean, I got too much waist size, so I'm good.
Oh, it's true. Right, Facebook on a gun. I warned. I did.